That was an exhibition game that the Yankees were playing against Yale the day before the season opened. And that's when I pitched a no-hit, no-run game. Got farmed out the next day. Joe McCarthy said, "You need more experience." I said, "What do you have to do?" He said, "I'll bring you back." So I went over there for about 6 weeks and came back.
So, Mr. Devens, what kind of guy was Babe Ruth?
Babe Ruth was quite a guy. He loved the ladies. I saw him drink about a quart of whiskey between the Back Bay station here in Boston and 125th Street in New York. God knows what he could have done if he'd ever kept training. I don't think he knew a hell of a lot, but he didn't have much of a chance. I liked him quite a bit.
When you came up, you were 22.
Yeah.
And Ruth was 37.
He came around after I'd been with the ball club a couple of days. He came around and knocked on my door and said, "Would it be all right if you used my room?" This is before I went out to the ballpark. And I said, "Sure, oh, of course." And then I figured it out that he had this dame with him. I went out to the ballpark and he came out about a half an hour after everybody else. And I think he hit a home run and a triple. I said, "God, that's a fine way to behave." But he wasn't a conceited man, really. He was good fun. Nice guy. Gehrig, on the other hand, would bite your head off if you were sympathetic with him.
People say Ruth and Gehrig didn't get along. What was the situation there?
I think Ruth was very nice to Gehrig when he came up. And they got on, but they weren't friends. In other words, Gehrig didn't go and have a drink with Babe. They went their separate ways. I didn't care for Gehrig as much as I did for Ruth, but boy, he was a hell of a good man to have on your team.
What about Tony Lazzari? What kind of guy was he?
Oh, I thought Lazzari was great. I think I'd rather see Lazzari play than anybody I knew. He was a hell of a good hitter. And I never saw him make an error. He had a good sense of humor. Every now and then he'd throw a curveball to Gehrig on a ground ball. He'd get the ball. And if he had plenty of time, he'd throw a curveball and Gehrig didn't please Gehrig much. Yankee Stadium is a great place to play ball, too. And of course, it was built for Babe Ruth. That right field fence, you could, make a fly ball and be a home run to right field.
What about Babe Ruth in the 1932 World Series? You were there. You were in the bullpen. Do you think Ruth called a shot for a home run?
I saw him do that. I saw him a finger indicating, pointing towards center field. Frankie Crosetti, who I used to talk to, said he wasn't pointing at the fence. He was putting up one finger because he had one more strike. The next ball he did hit there. He never denied it. But I think Crosetti was right.
Did you ever want to pitch for the Red Sox?
No, they wanted me to. But I said no, I was going to quit. That was after I told the Yankees I wouldn't play anymore. Looking back on it, I think I was right, although it would have been fun to play some more. But I had to get to work sometime.